Well, let's move on because we have another very important issue to talk to you about.
Oh, yeah.
The clitoris. How can unleashing the power of the clitoris revolutionize our lives? Well, that's the question that HuffPost asks in the latest Love and Sex podcast, which explores why the clitoris has been ignored and why it's finally getting its due. So how can we unleash the power of the clitoris? For those who don't know, you should know already, but how can we?
Actually, we're doing it right now. Part of it is just talking about it. The clitoris was actually only finally defined in 1998. The full anatomy of the clitoris. And that's 30 years after we walked on the moon. It's pretty crazy. But the thing is that most of the time women are told that if they're not having an orgasm through vaginal penetrative sex, there's something wrong with them. Well, the clitoris is the only organ on the human body that's just for pleasure.
Yeah.
So when you think about how radical that is, that women have a part of their body that has no other function. I mean, the penis, we also pee through it, we ejaculate through it, but the clitoris is just to feel good. And at the same time, though, women have been denied their sexuality. They've been denied their access to their bodies for so long. So the sooner I think we all start talking about the clit and what it's capable of, it's going to be better for all of us.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And I feel like this is, historically, this is something that's sort of been around, but it's also today. I mean, it seems like the clit is almost like a taboo and you can't really bring it up. People get uncomfortable about it.
I was just reading in Men's Health, I think they had an article about, 5 different ways to get her off. They didn't mention the clit once. And this was an article.
That's crazy.
It was written by a woman, by a sex expert who was a woman, and she didn't mention the clit once. It was the G-spot and these different things, ways that you could penetrate her. But, it's totally bonkers. And so I think the fact that, women need to sort of advocate for themselves. They should know what their bodies look like. They should know what their bodies feel like. And the men who love women should also be doing the same. And the bigger issue too, though, I'm a queer man. I don't have a whole lot of interaction with clits. I don't have a clit. But at the same time, thinking about it as a symbol of sex for pleasure. We still live in a culture where so often, sex is really policed, and it's supposed to be about only if you're married, even some people only if you're trying to have kids. No, sex is a hugely powerful thing that we should all be doing, we should all be talking about, and it doesn't need just to be to have children or in marriage, And so I think if we talk about the clit and what it really represents as sex for pleasure, that's about all of us.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Couldn't agree more. Well, now, how can we find out about the podcast? Where can we go?
It's all over HuffPost right now. If you can look in Gay Voices Women's section, but it's also on iTunes. You can download it there.